Yes. That's the whole point of the training.
Okay, we have
Is that you train the people authorized. You saw that there's
the issue.
is called Regional Director of the Bureau of Internal. Good morning. Welcome to 888 News Forum, sponsored by Marco Polo Plaza, Anitas, and let's also greet Cebu City for its Charter Day celebration this week. That will be tomorrow, no? 24th. So this morning we have three guests. We have Miss Peachy Peach. Good morning. And we have my student, GP. Good morning, Dong. Then we have Ray. So let's start the ball rolling with announcement coming from Peachy.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the coming of the first Lego League Philippine Islands Invitational 2016, and it will be held here in Cebu for the first time ever. So this is an amazing venue for students to compete for the science and technology in robotics. So there will be around 26 countries that will be coming, and it will be held on June 1 to 4 at the Hoops Dome in Lapu-Lapu. So this competition is sponsored by First Foundation and the Lego Education. The managing organizer of Lego League, Gerhard Anderson, was here yesterday to take a look at the venue at Hoops Dome to see if it is acceptable and if everything is in order. And the one who won the bid was Felta Multimedia Incorporated, headed by their CEO, Mylene Abiva. And they came here, they flew in from Manila, while Gerhard flew in from Denmark to do an ocular of the place for Mylene for the second or third time already. So all the contestants will be hosted at Plantation Bay, and also their teachers and their administrators. So it's going to be a very exciting activity because it will allow the students to really express their creative ideas considering the problems that we have right now, like garbage and a lot of other problems. But basically, this year's theme is called Trash Trek. So they're going to look of creative ways on how to help minimize trash or reuse trash. So in a nutshell, that's basically what the FLL will be doing here in Cebu.
This one, Peach, is basically robotics, no?
Yes, it is. It is robotics. So the competition has actually two categories. You have the project-based, which is research-based, and then you have the robotics game. So students will be using Lego, the robotics using Lego to create a robot that will go through the different tracks and answer, to let the robot do certain commands using the computer or the laptop to program the robot. So the students will be programming and at the same time building, at the same time letting the robot execute the different tracks. So you have a huge track that's like 8 by 4 track, and they have their different stations where they will have to try to solve the different tasks. The more tasks, the more points you have. So this is for ages grades 4 to grade 8. So that's like 9 to 16 years old are invited to join this competition.
Is this activity open to the public, sa Hoops Dome?
There will be selected audience because the Hoops Dome can only accommodate, I think, 2,000. And we have partnered with the Lapu-Lapu City Division through Mayor Paz Radaza, and they would like the public school to have representation. So there are many public schools, so they would like each school to witness what an international competition is all about. So we're very fortunate that we have won the bid through Felta Multimedia to hold it here in Cebu.
Do you have any additional info that you'd like to share with us?
So the major theme is really trash, and you're aware that this is not only a problem here in our country, but it is a problem all over the world. As you know, they even ship trash to us. I mean, you know about that news that it was sent through cargo. So so it's really a problem that the entire world is really involved, and I think this is a wonderful venue for our students so that they can be aware that about these issues, at the same time in their own level try to find solutions. So we're trying to develop a state of mind that if there is a problem, we can solve it in our level. So I think this is a great and wonderful thing for us, especially because there will be 26 countries, like let me just get the list. You have Japan, China, Hong Kong, Australia will be here, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Korea, New Zealand, Singapore, Pakistan, Taiwan, Thailand, Denmark, Canada, Germany, Italy, UK, Mexico, Sweden, Spain, Switzerland, USA, and Norway. So there will be representations. 2 teams from each of these countries will be coming here to compete.
Do we have a contestant from Cebu?
We have a contestant from Mactan.
From Mactan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
This would be interesting, no?
It will be, and
Yeah.
it's really a great opportunity for our students. Yes.
Sige. Thank you, Piche. Let's go now to GP. Ako si Janty.
I'm the CEO of Philippine Accessible Deaf Services, formerly GBSP Philippines. We're an NGO who aims for a deaf inclusive or disability inclusive Filipino society. So we work with PW organizations, we work with deaf organizations in the promotion of their human rights as well as inclusion in the mainstream society. One of our major program is Break the Silence, which is the prevention of sexual abuse towards deaf children and women. We also have programs on provision of sign language interpreters for the television news. Also, currently we are launching the project in partnership with Australian Aid and the Asia Foundation. It's called Fully Abled Nation, which is to increase participation and involvement of persons with disability for the 2016 midterm elections. Together with me is Sir Ray of GCI, and also I would like to acknowledge as well the presence of our partners from the PWD Federations, the President of Cebu Provincial Federation for Persons with Disability, Ms. Gladys Dublin, and also the former President of Cordoba Federation of the Deaf, Ms. Cora Clarin, and the President of the Blind Association of Lapu-Lapu City, Mr. Marvelous. So they are working with us. There are 8 target sites for this project, sir. And our goal is first, provide accessible resources for them to fully participate in the incoming elections. Second is provide voters education, capacity building, and as well as emphasize on inclusive in the involvement of persons with disabilities in the electoral process and governance system. So currently, as of October 2015, COMELEC has registered at least 418 persons with disability who are registered voters. No, we compare it to 2013, in which we only have 191,000 persons with disability who were registered and able to vote. In the Cebu province landscape, there are nearly 40,000 or nearly 50,000 persons with disabilities who are registered voters. In our past project 3 years ago, our goal was to create platforms for PWDs to register and mobilize a huge number of volunteers to become PWD assistors and guides. Now, since there is a huge number of persons with disability already who are registered voters, we are now seeing that in the near future we can see involvement or participation of persons with disabilities in governance. So not only that they were able to vote, they can also be poll watchers. They can do monitoring and in the voting and counting. They can even campaign, and the highest position that they can do is they can run for office, so that they can fully participate and really have a position in the government, so they can lobby for their programs. One of the major objective of this program is that we are working on a scorecard. We are currently in the works of partnering with our medias and our civil society organizations at GCI in terms of asking persons with candidates about their programs or agenda for persons with disabilities, granting the number of voting power, or the voting power of persons with disability, that it can actually affect or change, or the paradigm shift in terms of changing the landscape, the results. Na as far as we know, majority of our candidates or even political parties don't even have agendas. So we're trying to introduce the current number of persons with disabilities and their capability in terms of voting power, in terms of how can our current candidates develop programs and platforms that can actually address issues and concerns regarding persons with disabilities. In the last 3 months, we've been going around the different areas in Cebu province, researching about, talking with our PW leaders about the main issues in the community as a sector, and then we'll be presenting this to our candidates, and we'll see how they will be able to answer this in a form of scorecard, so that once we will be able to get their responses, we can actually help persons with disability vote objectively, or in terms of helping them vote for the right person who can actually help the sector.
I think kinahanglan yung tabangan na to mga persons with disabilities, no? Member ba ako ninyo? Kaya ako, sa city government, ang chronic kidney is a person with disability.
Yes, sir.
That's why I am a card-bearing member.
Yes, sir.
Ray? Naka-GP na pa kayo dungag?
Yes, sir. Currently, we're working with the COMELEC in terms of the implementation of the accessible polling place and nasa bagong special voting centers. They are introducing mall voting. Mall voting was introduced so that our malls are basically accessible for persons with disabilities. And the current complaints in the past few elections was that our voting centers were really hot, they were not accessible. Second floor, third floor. So what COMELEC is doing is that they are inviting the malls, no, to apply as a voting center, so that those nearby barangays surrounding the malls, ato ang mga voters, and particularly persons with disability and senior citizens, don't have to go to the regular schools, but instead go to the malls. Where in aircon pa, they can buy food everywhere while they're waiting, and it's very much mas paspas ang ilahang pag-vote dito. While COMELEC right now is consolidating the list of persons with disabilities, so that all persons with disability who are voting in the second floor, third floor will be moved to the ground floor. Well, we cannot really control na naadyoy mga instances that our persons with disabilities musaka jud kay kulang ang ato ang classroom sa ground floor. We are mobilizing our fully abled nation volunteers, no? Currently we are training volunteers. 40% of that comes from the PWD sector. So makita na to this coming elections na PWDs helping other PWDs. They will become so atong mga classrooms are old structures, so walay ramps, so they are the ones na moalsa sa mga na-wheelchair. If there's a deaf person who needs sign language interpreting, we can provide volunteers, and we are setting up together with Si Simple a PWD help desk so that automatic na ang mga PWD voters ma-attend ang ilang mga needs in terms of asa sila mo vote and
Di ba
they can
ang
guide
mga
them.
Pilipino tagamang priority sa kaning pagbutar?
Yes sir, natay express lanes together with the senior citizens. Kaso lang there are mga environmental mga barriers. No, so muna nga tuwang kan prior days before elections magkanda og accessibility audit so that we can suggest to COMELEC and to the local government na ang katong mga libaong-libaong na mga parts sa sa classroom sa school mapatag to or even they can build makeshift ramps para makadayon og sud ang atong mga wheelchairs.
Okay. Ray?
Okay. Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to be invited here to promote this Fully Able Nation project by Philippine Association of the Deaf Services. And together with GCI, with the Uptown, because for the past 3 years, since 2013, we started this project in the last midterm election. So, now in the second time that we promote this active Fully Able Nation, the role of GCI here is to help this project because our role in GCI is more on active citizenship. So this is a line project with our advocacy also with the GCI, together with our president GCI member Joe Franz Canizares. The trust now of 2016 is focused on the CSR, which is to help this PWD sector be acknowledged in our community. Because for the past medyo sad to say, medyo na neglected sila for the past. Some of their programs are not acknowledged. But this time, as a role of the non-government, specifically with the GCI Mitusi Uptown, we'd like to promote this PWD to be a part of this electoral process and give it a chance to discover their abilities and how they're gonna participate in our governance. So, GCI Mitusi Uptown, together with the Philippine Association Accessible of Deaf Services, partnership in this program to promote and to help aware the programs about PWD sector. And of course, we'd like also to acknowledge not only the GCI but even other stakeholders in the community to participate and to promote this project, because this is not only for one organization but this is for everybody. And then of course, whether you like it or not, the PWD is still part of our community. So we'd like to acknowledge also their presence and I would like them to participate in whatever endeavor in our government.
So we'd like to congratulate JCI Uptown for this activity, and 888 News Forum will support this activity in support of our fellow PWDs. Let's go now to Attorney Raymond Garcia, running for Council, North District, Team Rama. Raymond, ang imo rong usa may imong role ron.
Wana, minaw lang sa guan nila. It's very interesting, no, that a lot has been said, and when you read social media, the sector that is being most talked about now is the LGBT, no? And then for some reason, ang kaning other sectors are not really that nakalimtan. So I'm very happy that this forum is really focused now on kaning atong deaf, what other kaning mga disabilities. Yeah. And then it's also a good point nga niingon si JP that it's a neglected sector in our society, which I believe is also true, no? That's true nga ang mga politicians may gali naasa ko dire kay makapresentar sa mga politiko, kay that is really true, no? Nga some politicians really don't think about this sector in society. So it's good that they're here to make people aware. Although I laud the efforts of our present mayor, Mayor Mike Rama, for giving financial assistance to PWDs. This is something that is this has not been done before, no? But then again, it has to continue. Not only there, I think this should be developed further and studied further, and whatever benefits that we can give the PWDs, it should be done and it should be given. Most especially, Professor Ricky karon murag, we have so much money already in the city government. Kaso lang, dila nato magasto. Di lang ipagamit kay kisigig babagan sa atong present council, no? So mo na sana ang problema nato karon. So mao ra na Ricky.
Yeah. Unsa pa'y issue imong gustong ipaventilate din ni Attorney Garcia?
Well, recently I just came out in the newspaper regarding a client of mine, professor, no? He got in our corporation code, banggod, if you are majority of a particular corporation, then you have the right to manage and operate the affairs of a particular corporation. Pero lately, akong client, who is a Korean national, in the person of Mr. Sayon Cho, he got majority of already the outstanding capital stock of Mactan Isla Resort Incorporated. And then this has already been submitted to the SEC. It has already been accepted by the SEC. And armed with that, he went inside his own company inside Mactan Isla Resort and Spa, and he was prevented from doing so by the guards, no, under orders of the older management nga wa nakadawat sa bagong bagong majority. So katawanan kay tanan nga on that particular day they hired about 30 to 40 guards when normally they only have 12. Yeah, on that particular day 30 to 40 guards para di lang yun siya pasudlon. So I think this is also an injustice done, no? Okay. We have a lot of investors all around the world coming in Cebu, and then there is something like that, mawad-an ugana ang ato mga investors diri oy. And then they promote jobs, they promote so many things, no? It's a trickle down effect economically. And then if we do something like this to our investors, it is very kanang dili mapawa ugana sa ato mga investors in town. So I hope this can be addressed by our courts. So our next move really is to go to the courts unless malamdagan sila. O niya, makahuna-huna sila nga, uy, sayop man di ay me, no? So, maura na sa Ricky.
I thought you came here because 888 will be able to resolve the problem of your client. Well, anyway, Serge, you have a question?
Sa provincial board, sir, unsay napanday nga resolution para pagproteher sa rights and privileges sa mga PW na to sa probinsya. And second question is, nabasahan ako last week siguro, 3 weeks ago, pilay cash assistance nga gi-apod-apod og panghatag sa provincial government sa mga PWDs nato sa probinsya. Thank you.
Okay, sir. I can only answer a few, some of your questions, but I'm not the right person to answer the question coming from Cebu Province. Miss Gladys Dublin here, who is the current president of the Cebu Provincial Federation, might be the right person to answer that question.
For now, sir, ang gilabi gid karon sa province is creation of PIDAW. So mo na siya among gi-concentrate, and then kana magud siyang PIDAW mo we work on with the organization sa mga PWDs. Persons with Disability Affairs Office. So kana siya, sir, para the organization will also help para sa encourage the PWDs to be in a organization and then more registered sad sila.
At present, there's an organization of women with disability here in Cebu. It's called WOW LEAP, Women with Disability Leap for Economic and Social Progress, and I'm the president, and that is our Cebu chapter because it's a national organization. So if I may add on what Ma'am Gladys said, here in Cebu province we have two ordinance already. It was what's this? It was Board Sitoy who authored that ordinance, barrier-free tourism in the promotion of the accessibility, the BP 344. We have the accessibility of persons with disability. And then the second ordinance is what Ma'am Gladys said. There is already an ordinance on the creation of the Persons with Disability Affairs office, and that office, it's a tool. It's a tool in the monitoring, in the implementation of the programs, services, and projects for persons with disabilities. So in the ordinance, it is said that it is a must that all cities, municipalities, there should be an office that is to be manned by persons with disabilities. An officer should be a person with disabilities. Kay walay lain nga makasinati kung unsa gayud ang gibati sa mga persons with disability kung dili ang parehas niya. We have Sir Jeppy, we have the GCI, and that's a very good ganing partnership with them. But then ang usa ka office kung being run by a PWD, a leader himself or herself, so maayo gud ang pagdagan ana. So mao na ang duha. And then another is kung when we talk of accessibility, ang province of Cebu, they already have elevator going to the social hall and ramp sa mga offices. Nanay mga ramps, sir. And then comfort room, PWD friendly na. So mao na.
I'd like to also add, for Cebu City government, recently the council has approved or passed the ordinance requiring all TV networks who are based in Cebu to provide sign language interpreters in the daily news. Meaning to say, once after 60 days, we've been now be seeing our TV networks na mag-provide of sign language interpreters because as you can see, there are at least 400,000 persons, deaf people who cannot access the news because there's no one signing. We acknowledge that Filipino Sign Language is the medium of communication or the language of our persons who have deafness, and that without a sign language interpreter on TV, they will not be able to understand what's happening. No? ESCAP sa UN, they were able to make a research, sir, na during disasters, it's 10 times most likely that a person with disability coming from the Philippines or in Southeast Asia to die during disasters because delayed ang ilahang information. So as what we can see in other cities or other countries, if there is an emergency situation, automatic na sign language interpreter muling mubarog beside the mayor or ang TV is in closed caption para makabasa ang katong dili kadungog. So it's a good move by the city government na recognize nila, and hopefully we are also trying to lobby the recognition of Filipino Sign Language as a national language for the Filipino deaf people or community in Congress and in Senate right now. And also in addition to Ma'am Cora, Cebu is also one of the first pioneering to pass the barrier-free ordinance, meaning requiring our buildings to apply the universal design. The BP 344 or the Philippine Accessibility Law is a 30-year-old law that needs to be amended, and it's really nice for the provincial government na to apply and mandate that particular ordinance para ma-apply na nato the new design or mga technical requirements required by a new building. So makita na itong mga bagong buildings na ito kuha na karon applying the universal design, and also together with the PDF federations nag-training ta sa mga staff and employees sa hotels because we're trying to promote barrier-free tourism as well. So hinga na to. The organization that we are also, aside from lobbying the policies, we are also providing capacity building as part of this project, meaning we're preparing our partners, PWD partners, in terms of leadership and organizing skill. We have hired an organizational development and socio-economic expert in the person of Mr. Ato Ponce. He's based in Manila here to provide trainings and capacity building to our partner organizations across Cebu province para once na ma-prepare sa after elections, we will now be seeing na majority of our leaders will be sitting, or appointed to represent and lobby for programs and policies that will benefit persons with disabilities.
So, og
Yes.
elected si Atty. Raymond Garcia as Cebu City Councilor, he can review and improve that ordinance for PWDs.
Yes, sir, that's true. Actually, long before Attorney Raymond Garcia run for council, he's being active in terms of supporting the deaf community already. And I'm so happy to meet him here. so it's good na we meet again, and hopefully once he wins, he will be one of the champions sa persons with disability in the council sa Cebu City.
My question to Atty. Raymond Garcia, after the human wa pasudla ang President CEO sa iyang kaugalingong kumpanya, what is the comment of the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Well, wala pa bagyod mi naka-add to nila because our next recourse is really to go to the courts. Kaya ang courts ra magyud makahatag og restraining order or whatever it is, no? So that makapasud yun ta. In fact, he is here right now, no? The chairman and CEO of Mactan Isla, Mr. Sayon Cho. Can you please stand up? Mr. Sayon Cho, can you please stand up? He is here right now, no?
He is the majority stockholder
Yes,
of
he's the-
Mactan Isla
Yeah, right
Resort
now.
and Spa.
So-
Pero wa siya pasudla sa iyang kaugalingong kumpanya.
Katawanan kayo.
So, pero kanang maong record attorney submit na sa Securities and Exchange
Yes.
Commission.
Yes. In fact, it was signed by no less than the corporate secretary. The corporate secretary is who according to our law, muna tighipos sa tanan records no sa corporation. So kinsay tag-iya na siya, kinsay majority stockholder, pila ka book outstanding capital stock that was issued, etc., etc. So siya mismo ang nag-sign and nag-certify
he was
everything.
elected among themselves.
Yes.
Sa
So
mga-
so even prior to that nga katong old administration pa, siya na daan ang corporate secretary niya na carry over na sa bagong administration. So he really knows everything, no? Nya ni pirma gyud taon ni siya because everything was over above board, no? So muna nga nahibong lang mi nga inig pagsud I wasn't there but pagsud sa niya og yung abogado, wa na siya pasudla. No, so
Pero
katawanan
doon na
kayo.
may reason nga gipresentar ang
Naa
legal
they
speakers.
showed the general information sheet that was duly accepted by SEC.
Di, ang reason sa PICAS.
Ano
wala
wa
sila.
ano wa pasudla
Ano wa
Attorney
pasudla?
Raymond?
Wala sila ni hatag og rason, no? In fact, di sila makigistorya sa akong kliyente. So muna wa may recourse but we have to go to the courts. Di man sila makig-settle amicably. So wa gyud may recourse ani.
But
We have to
is
go to
there
the courts.
any pending case nga nining imong client?
Wala gyud pending case whatsoever.
Okay.
We haven't filed anything yet.
Tagsaon na no? It's unique nga majority stockholder ka.
Only in the Philippines.
Ma'am, unsaon na to ni pag unsay atong buhaton nga mo participate ang daghan nga mga Cebuanos in this coming first Lego League.
Actually, right now, it's open. The thing is, they have to undergo training already. They have to already have been, they already should have a problem already that they want to solve. So they should have already have done or are currently doing the research. Every year, this FLL, it happens. So it's in June. So they will give out the next theme by June of this year. So after the competition, they will announce the theme for next year, 2017, is this one. So that's when schools, establishments will start already putting their team together and start researching. I heard, in fact, that they even spend hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars just to do the research because it's really research-based ang FLL. Compared to other competitions that we have participated in, it's robotics. We mean assemble, program, and then execute. This one, what's a nice feature of FLL is that naa siya research-based, naa sad siya robotics nga based. So duha siya ka category. Yeah. So it would be nice if that's why I think the mayor of Lapu-Lapu, si Radaza, would like to promote it and invite the different public schools to attend this activity so that they can see the potential, because even among schools and educators, it's lisod man good sabton nga ang robotics man, like how is it done, how do you go down to the level of the kids, so murag lisod siya sabton. So activities like this will help spread awareness nga it can be done, how to encourage science and technology in the classroom.
As a matter of fact, class, I would like to invite PG during the competition, if some of the delegates could come to 888, so that we can also understand what is this thing about the activity about robotics ba? Art?
That would be wonderful. Actually, they
Mao
were
na
very
tatong-
excited.
Mao na to tong opportunity pag anhin ni Maylin Aviva.
They were here yesterday and they were so looking forward. I mean, they dressed to the nines and we were looking for like 888 form, but it's the next day. But anyway, I will inform them that we are invited again by Sir Ricky. Before or after. And they in fact don't go yet because they also left keychains from Lego, so they would like us to distribute it also. Yes. And then
Robotic
I'd like to
keychains.
take this opportunity to mention also with regards to the PWD that in 2004 the theme was addressing the needs of individuals with disabilities in 2004, and then the theme was no limits. So parang they were trying to incorporate robotics and the disabilities like vision, hearing, using sensors. Because robotics, we use sensors. You have the light sensor na namutingog siya. You know, like when you get in the office, mo tingog ang murag doorbell nga automatically para you'll know someone's coming in. So parang to reach to the younger generation nga, these are also things that we have to look into. We have to be an inclusive society, not a society that, segregates. Yeah.
Art?
Good morning, everybody. To Attorney Raymond, my friend.
Maing bundag. My friend, adugay na kami
Mon, the case with the Mactan Isla ba? Is that the one under ALO or not?
Kuha na siya, yeah. That
That's
unionized na sila. Unionized
under
na sila.
ALO, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's not an isolated case, no, when it comes to
Takeovers.
corporate intramatters ba,
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, that's
Because Korean among Koreans, they're fighting each other. So we have a case also, the same nature, the same setup, no? So especially if some Koreans are already befriending some Filipinos, and the Filipinos exploit the situation. I think this is now the case in this particular company. So ang gihimo, no, istoryahon lang, because they could by all means, no, mugamit sila og power, mugamit sila og police, and it will end up to nothing, no? So mao na nga daghan kay ning mga cases ngayon ani in Cordoba and in Mactan.
That's true.
Yeah, mo na tingin nahitabo ana. So it's only in the Philippines actually, because it's also the fault of some Korean investors. Secondly, it's not only for kining hatag financial assistance to the PWDs, but the most important thing is to implement what is kining specified or naadi as balaod specifically on our infra programs, no. If you look at some of our buildings or to ang mga edipisyo din ni syudad, daghan kayong violations nga until now og imong tan-awon og mabanhaw pa si Art Burhal mubangon to because wa gihapon ma-implement. Secondly, on our case sa ato ang transpo, wa lang gyud gihapon, no. You see, I mean, og may nayon ang BRT, that's the time nga we have a tram nga intended for the PWDs. But kasagaran yun, that's the problem sa atong local government executives. If they are not environmental illiterates, they are also anti-PWDs. Thank you.
In addition to this, what Art Barrett, no, actually, our advocacy also is not only for, to provide this infrastructure for our PWD. Well, in fact, we, the GCI, and together other partner institutions like the PADS, we provide also livelihood program for the PWDs. Because we practice that we do not allow dole-out system here. We teach our PWD sector to be the role model to some other who are not PWD, because if they could provide an income for themselves, how about for these people who are not PWD, right? So actually we have already the project implemented for the economic livelihood program for the PWD sector. We provide this training program, and well, in fact, we're proud also na running na siya nga project right now, and we encourage all the other PWD sector to join in this particular project na to engage more into livelihood program na dili ta magsalig sa whatever assistance from the local government units, but we have to make our own source of income also in order for us to survive, because we're not allowing here na to have this kind of dole-out system lang. They're teaching also to earn by their own means. So, aside from the structure, we also provide other training programs. The PWD will, in fact, JP and I were planning to have another project for personality development, particularly how to, what other training na pwede pa na ito mahatag assistance to them, not only on, say, the infrastructure, livelihood, but also for other personality development to improve them as a person.
JP?
Okay, sir. In regards to the number of persons with disability in the Philippines, no, according to the SWD, sa ilahang record, out of the 18.8 million households in the Philippines, there are 4% of that are having families with disability members. So that's roughly around 4,400,000 plus households who have family members who have disabilities. So the goal here is that while we promote accessibility, while we promote inclusion, what we are really aiming is the direct participation and representation of persons with disability in policy development. Most of our laws, Magna Carta for persons with disability, are not even crafted or drafted by persons with disabilities. That's why daghang king mga loopholes. So what we are seeing is that, as what they say, no, nothing about us without us, is that in the next coming years, we're seeing the promotion or the establishment of persons with disability affairs offices na they will have a seat good na in council or in program development or policy development para they can craft or even amend the policies that will really directly benefit them. Kay munay gap karon sa atong government, wherein we ang atong mga current policy developers or program implementers, they are just dictating what's best for a person with disability, which should not be the case. Kay adunay daghang PWDs, particular leaders who are really capable of crafting their own policies na haom jud para sa ilang sektor.
Utana ko, Atty. Garcia, kumusta na yung lakaron papaila sa iyong kagalingon sa mga katawan?
Pero buyag, maayo gyud kayo ang among suroy. We are very welcomed in the different barangays. In fact, inig mag-handshaking me every morning, which is 6 in the morning all the way to 9, no? And then pulong-pulong man me every evening from 7 all the way to 10. In fact, when I go handshaking and they welcome me, most of the time, yun, no, aside from asking me, unsa kang Alvin Garcia, most of them, ingon yun, sus in town, attorney, mas maayo unta nga kamoy ma-majority karon kay parawa na ibabag sa konseho. Mo ginay ibalik-balik yun pirmi, because they know the situation. Most of the people here in Cebu City know and are aware already of the situation of what's happening in the council, nga puro babag, puro walay development tungod kay sigig babag ang PICAS group po bitaw sa mga programa o proyekto sa atong pinalanggang mayor.
Do we have more questions? Serge?
If ever elected as councilor, attorney, what are your plans to magpanday sa balaod nun ay mong plano nga himuon para sa benefits usab sa taga Cebu City? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Ang ako yung advokasya, as I've been sige ko balik-balik ani kay pareha ni Professor Ricky, no? I was once an educator, I thought. So, my advocacy is education. Education yun. I believe manggod kung maayog edukasyon ng ato mga bata, hayag ilang kaugmaon, labi na maka-college sila, sa yun na lang sila makakita og trabaho. So, as I was nagsigi kong balik-balik, karon manggod, our elementary, we have all public elementary schools that are free for our children. You know, you have, let's say, APAS, elementary public school, which is free. When they go to high school, there is APAS or Lahog National Public High School, which is free. Pero kaniya itong mga bata, if they want to be doctors, if they want to be lawyers, if they want to be engineers, they have nowhere where to go. Maingon din sila sa ilang ginikanan nga, Mama, gusto ko mahimong abogado, gusto ko mahimong inhinyero, tabangi ko mabe, usahay ang tubag sa ginikanan, moingon na ginikanan. Dong, wala bagyo ko ika-college ni mo dong, labi na karon daghan kay kag bata nga ako panggiatiman. No? So ang bata in town maningkamot, mangita siya giyang kaugalingong kwarta. Oh, ipagpangita sa iyang kaugalingong kwarta after 2 years nga malingaw na siya sa iyang kwarta. Paninglan siya siyang mama. Dong, asa naman to ang imong college, dong? Maingon din siya nga, madaghan ko kwarta niya, nalingaw naman ko sa kung binuwan-buwan nga sweldo. Di na ko ganahan, ma'am, o eskwela o college. Si Dodong, kutob na lang yun in town, high school. Nay uban nga ini-graduate og high school sa kadugay tambay, magsige na lagi inom, kuyog-kuyog og barkada, ang kakuyaw mo enter og droga. Ni samot na nga di na gusto og college. Muna, my advocacy is education. The first thing that I will do, if there is already a balaod nun, kung naanay law or ordinance on this, I will just have to rehash it, no? The first thing I will do is magpanday gyud kog balaod nun nga maghimo ta diri Cebu City, the first ever Cebu City Public College. So that ang ato mga bata nga after high school diretso na college, wa nay tambay-tambay, di na mo trabaho. Haron makagraduate na gyud dayon sila. I think, you know, this is not impossible because if you go to Mandaue City, are you aware that Mandaue City has 2 public colleges? You go to Gaway lang. Talisay has 1. No? Ay na to Makati kay pwede tong datua. No? It's free. Everything is free. So, muna nga, here in Cebu City, binilyon ang atong budget dire. No? And then, at the same time, we have a bigger population than Mandaue and Talisay combined, but we don't have a school, a public college. So, maybe one of the things that we can focus on when Mayor Mike Rama gets re-elected, together, hopefully with majority of us, is nagtukod naman ta og multi-billion nga hospital that is better than Chongwa, Cebu Doctors and Perpetual Soccer that will also be free. No? I think our next step is let's build a free Cebu City Public College. Daghan man tagluna, nailunas SRP, pila raman oy, 1 hectare. Unya, daghang kwarta ang syudad sa Sugbo, magtukod lang ta og kaning mga buildings for college. And then, if Congressman Alvin Garcia wins and Congressman Jerry Carrillo wins, mangayo tagtabang sa Malacanang. They have funding. Di lang ipaagi og PDAF. Lain lang pangan. Di ba? We can also ask funds for buildings for building a college. So that will be my priority and focus yun. Muna nga, ako nangayog yung tabang ninyong tanan og ang kabagaan sa katawhan kay that thing will really be a reality. I know Mayor Mike Rama will make that a reality. Will help in this project.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, Attorney Raymond Garcia. My name is Marvelous Jorda, out of Line Association, Lapu-Lapu City President.
Good morning, sir.
I have a question for you because I know, dili ko kakita nimo, but I feel na you have a advocacy to help to all the people here in Cebu City, right? So, nag-gisgot maka about the education. So, we have a question for you. If ikaw ay malingkod na as councilors of the Cebu City, so first my question is unsay nakita nimo nga gusto nimong buhaton ug dapat buhaton sa persons with disability, and then second is about education, unsa may nakita nimo nga angay buhaton about the inclusive education for especially to blind and also deaf, because there are many blind persons na graduate in the CNU in the college, and also there are many deaf nga nag-school po sa CTU. This is my question to you, Attorney.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I agree, no, that the financial assistance is not enough. There should be more that should be done. What you are not aware, what many of you are not aware, is that there are already existing ordinances that have been passed in the previous councils regarding PWDs, no? Buildings, for example, should have this kind of structure, etc., etc. So I think sakto nang ilang giingon nga implementation. I think what we should really do is take a look at and codify all of these ordinances. Ato ning tapukon tanan, ato ning tanawon, because if elected councilor and I pass the same legislation, it's just balik-balik, no? The problem is really not legislation, the problem really is implementation. So if we can codify all of these ordinances, atong iusa ang kaning, oy, kani PWD, kani ato sa ning ilahi. Tanaw na sa year 2011, oy, kani PWD, ato sa ning ilahi. Ato ning tanaw, let's codify this, let's digest this, put this in one small book. And then what we can do is, we will tell the council and the office of the mayor to try to implement this. What we can even do is, when we codify this, we give this to all the owners of establishments, no, owners of schools, owners of important institutions that can help the PWDs. Because as of now, a lot of people are not aware. Most of the people are not aware. So let's look at these laws. Let's go back. Let's codify them, and then let's implement them. I think that's one of the things that we should really do.
Art Barit?
Codification of all ordinances and resolution has long been started. No? If I may recall, it was Joy Pisquera who requested for a budget to codify all the resolutions way back, say, mga 2002. The question is, unsa ni resulta? There was a resolution passed by the council giving some amount of money because it's a special case, and pag-codify, since the creation of the city council, from the time that it was still a municipality until now, so og nahuman na manggaling to, so ipakita sa publiko in the same manner nga nangutan na St. Thomas, where are the patrol cars? Okay?
Hirit lang ba? Hirit.
You are very fair, my friend Art.
Okay. So, Pichi, thank you very much. Pichi, you have a comment?
Yeah, I'd just like to say you might want to look into private schools when you have for the elections, because private schools, they have ramps already. In the CRs, they follow requirements for PWDs. There are signages there. In the CR, they have handles. So you might want to look into encouraging private schools and universities, which have a lot of classrooms, to participate and to volunteer their facilities. Not only public schools, because public schools, they have, like you said, they don't have ramps, they don't have lifts or elevators. So in San Carlos, I know that they have an elevator. So it is, I think it just needs a little legwork. And then with regards also, I'd just like to take this opportunity to comment about what's happening in social media with regards to Pacquiao's comment. It's very relevant for us schools because we have children who are, very impressionable. So what I would like to encourage is perhaps the idea, which I share to our students, is that we are made by design, so that they will not be confused. Unsa jud ilahang asa jud sila padong gender, they will just recall and remember that when they're made by design, so that the boys will remember that they are boys and the girls will remember that they are girls. So basically that will simplify things for the kids. When they are already big, let them decide what they want to do. But basically, let's start them young. I'd like to encourage you all to help us promote this awareness that we are all made by design. So girls are made as girls and boys are made as boys.
Okay, thank you, Pichi. GP?
Lastly, sir, I'd like to give this opportunity to thank Forum 888 for inviting us and giving us this platform to spread this project. Also, I'm encouraging schools, volunteers to please register and register for the Fully Abled Nation project. If you want to contribute to the development of the PWD sector this coming elections, I'm inviting you to volunteer. You may contact us through our Facebook page. Just search Philippine Accessible Deaf Services or PADS, our Fully Abled Nation fan page as well. You can message us there so that we will be we'll be posting some dates now where we can organize volunteer orientations. At the same time, I'm giving this opportunity to inform our media partners that we'll be distributing mga infomercials about the inclusion of persons with disabilities in radio and in social media. So I hope that during that day comes, you'll be positively accept and support this campaign for the inclusion and raising awareness of inclusion of persons with disabilities. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you this opportunity that we are here for the Club 18 Forum to promote this Fully Abled Nation project. And of course, just to give you some announcement that in behalf of the DCI Inclusive Uptown, this is to inform all the media that 2016 DCI Inclusive Uptown will be hosting the National Convention of DCI Philippines. So because one of our advocacy also in DCI is to promote Cebu to be the next convention capital of the Philippines because of our accessibility and of course to make Cebu not only as the next convention capital but also to promote the economic and tourism industry of our province and of course to promote the local government units on how to make Cebu as one of the most livable city in Asia.
Raymond?
Well, I would like to thank 888 News Forum, particularly Professor Ricky and Elias for giving me this opportunity. Gihatag ako gigayon para makadayag sa ato mga plataforma o mga programa. No? Niya, I hope na di in taon mo mapulaan o pag-imbitar na ko kay magsigi kog balik-balik yun din eh. So once again, good morning to one and all.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for joining us this morning. Until next week sa atong 888 News Forum. Good morning and have a nice day. Thank you, Pichi. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Raymond.